So welcome everyone to, I think this is episode 28, Shark Attack Case Files. So today we're going to go back to the Mediterranean and just look at a very small country here. Probably you've never heard of it. Montenegro. So in Montenegro, I mean, this is one of these Balkan states, used to be part of Yugoslavia under that socialist rule. Even before that, I think the Ottoman Empire ruled this region for many hundreds of years, but just before the First World War, sort of a prelude to that. Anyway, yeah. So this is Montenegro, and obviously it has a coastline on the Adriatic. So I think it's about 60 miles of coastline. It's about 93 kilometers, and we're going to look at some attacks that took place off Budva. So Budva is this sort of largest coastal town, and in terms of statistics, yeah. So there's only been 4 attacks in Montenegro, and they've all been just off the coast of Budva, and 3 attacks, 2 fatalities. One in 1914, which is non-fatal, and then one in 1955, which was fatal, and then one in 1987, which was also fatal. So we'll just quickly run through them. So the first one is this one on the 13th of June 1914 on a Saturday, and there's 2 guys were out boating early in the morning. They were just returning, trying to get into Budva port, just on a small rowing boat actually, and they were about 300 meters from the shoreline, in about 10 meters of water, 30 feet of water. Yeah, the water temperature there is pretty warm, sort of 25 degrees, 77 Fahrenheit. But in terms of the narrative on this one, yeah, they were just sort of rowing into the harbour, and then out of nowhere, just a giant sort of 6 meter, 20-foot great white shark just crashed into the side of their boat, sort of knocked them back, and they were trying to row the paddles. And this guy Ivan said that the shark actually raised his head out of the water, sort of bit one of the paddles, snapped it, and it sort of threw back, hit him on the forearm, and then it raised its head right out of the water, and it sort of bit at the stern of the boat, sort of leaving teeth marks. And then they tried to paddle with what they had left, and he actually ended up throwing one of the paddles into the water, and it bit that, and then just swam off. So I mean, this was just a boating attack basically in 1914. And then we fast forward to 1955, July the 15th, on a Friday, and it was a Serbian engineering student, uh, Romasovic. He was swimming with a couple of friends. Yeah, and they were just swimming just off the beach, sort of in between this island and the beach, sort of halfway. Yeah, and it was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So they were in about 5 meters of water, which is about 15 feet, about 150 meters from shore. Moon, third quarter. Again, yeah, the water temperature 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And this was actually, yeah, fatal injury and a complete predation. So he was swimming with 2 friends. Yeah, and his 2 terrified friends sort of witnessed this attack, and the shark literally bit him in half, and the other 2 were able to escape. And then the shark just completely predated him. And then the Yugoslavian coastline, as they were called at the time, they came to the scene, and the shark was just still swimming around the area, just a ginormous great white. They reckon, yeah, 6.5 meters, is over 20 feet, was just swimming around, and they actually tried to shoot the shark through the water, but it didn't have any effect. And they were unable to kill it, and the shark eventually just swam off. But yeah, this swimmer was, yeah, completely predated, and then obviously the other 2 swimmers were very lucky. They weren't the ones targeted. And if we move forward to 1987, this was in July, and there's not a lot of information about this attack. I think that this was a cover up, as we've seen before on one of the previous episodes, what we done on Croatia. I think that when you have um, people coming in from other states, so this guy came in from Serbia. He was another student, and they were jumping off the cliffs just off the point of the beach. Yeah, literally, this guy was just at his turn to jump. He took a jump off this cliff, which is probably about 4 or 5 meters up, this cliff face, and he jumped into the water just in the afternoon time. And as soon as he hit the water, there was many beachgoers on the beach at the time. They said as soon as he hit the water, this huge great white, 6 meters or around 19 to 20 foot great white, must have been pulled into the area by all the people in the water, and it basically just snaffled him up. And that's all she wrote for this guy. He just, was having fun, jumped off the cliff. These are the actual cliffs here. So it's just on the point, just out of shot of this image. But they jump into the water off here, and they reckon that this young lad just jumped off, and as soon as he landed in the water, this shark just came in and took him. Yeah, and they never found anything. And there was apparently it was witnessed by hundreds of people on the beach. So imagine that you're just jumping in, and he might have even seen the shark as he was falling. And imagine that. That's like a sliding doors moment. There, you sort of jumping towards the water, and you see a big shadow underneath you, and you realise in that moment that you are truly fucked. But yeah, unbelievable bad luck anyway for that guy. But just looking at it, are there sharks still in the Adriatic, or even near this location in Montenegro? And there was this small great white, about 2 meters. So I mean, it's only going to be, yeah, sort of 7 or 8 feet. This great white was accidentally caught in nets in 2011. And yeah, I think in 2006 they're actually become protected. I think it's illegal to catch great whites in the Adriatic now. And also in 2020, which is even more recent, there was a very large great white shark filmed off southern Italy, and you can find this footage somewhere. I might even leave a link for it down in the description. But yeah, this shark was huge, and it was filmed off southern Italy. And in terms of attacks, if you go to, I think, 2008, off this island here, Viz, which is not far from Budva. This island here, Viz, there was a spear fisherman. He was just diving, and he had a load of fish attached to his waist that he'd speared, and a great white shark came in, tried to grab the fish, and sort of grabbed him as well, and severely injured his leg. And the guy hit the surface. And the boat managed to pick him up, and he was taken to hospital, and he survived. But yeah, he was attacked by a great white, and that was, they reckon that shark was about 12 to 15 feet. So it was a reasonably good sized shark. But yeah, that was 2008. So yeah, I mean, there's not been an attack since then in the Adriatic. That was the last one. But yeah, maybe in the future there might be more attacks in the Adriatic. But yeah, that's it. And then just one bit of information I was reading the other day, just because the Mediterranean is the salinity is very high, 38 parts per thousand. You compare that to the Atlantic, which is 35 parts per thousand. And I was just thinking, yeah, obviously salt water prevents homeostasis, which obviously exacerbates blood loss. So I was always thinking in the Mediterranean, if you get attacked by a shark, you bleed out way quicker just because it's saltier. So that's just something to remember. But anyway, it's a short one for today. So yeah, laters.